Well, there was some question out in the universe as to whether the demise of our show was imminent. It was not.
No, not at all. We're still here. We just need a week off once in a while.
This is true. You know, I was working on some things, and so was Pete, and then we were both like those guys that set out to drain the swamp and realized the alligators were eye high. Yeah. But we're back, and we're ready to talk good stuff. So what do we got here, Pete?
Let's get right into it. Yeah, talking sports. Let's get right into it. There's been a lot of action. The district races are about to settle up in basketball.
Girls getting real close.
Well, let's get at it. 30. How'd it go this weekend?
It was a crazy week because EHS forged ahead and is now the district champ at 14-2. They cannot be stopped record-wise. Edinburgh North had won 7 in a row, was on a great streak, and then came in and lost to Sherryland, 60-50. The Rattlers, Lady Rattlers, played a great game. Vela, meanwhile, rebounded from a surprising loss to North and won, and so now they're both 12-3. Vela Sherryland tomorrow is where it's at in that league. Now let me tell you briefly how it happens. EHS is number 1. Right now, North is on the odd man looking in. So what they have to do is have Sherryland beat Vela. So that Vela and North end up tied, they have to have a playoff. See, you want to avoid the 4th spot in that district because it gets you Laredo Alexander, who was an unbelievable basketball team. Definitely an uphill climb. Been a great race. Sure. Absolutely great race.
Sure. And the boys, there was a big match between Sherry and North.
Man, now they've beaten each other on their home court. Because North had a 4 or 5 point lead midway through. Sherryland just started playing really good. I'll tell you who impressed me. This little guy, Eddie Garza, number 1. He looks kind of like Milo Trejo at EHS. Little guy's left-hander. He stuck a big 3, played great down the stretch. This dude, Ian Guy, number 12, he looks like a fighter, man. He's got just an outstanding body. He can jump to the moon, muscular. He made some free throws and a big play in traffic. Sherryland has played better down the stretch, on the road, and it's a big win for them.
I saw that. I think I saw the box. They outscored him. What was it, 15-9 or something like that?
North seemed to have the game not in hand, but under control.
Sure.
They just didn't play that well. They really didn't. I think Sherryland's defense had something to do with that. Down the stretch, Big John Horner rose up and swatted the shot. North turned the ball over in the last 30 seconds. They were down 2, and they just couldn't get it across. And it was like a cardinal fundamental error. It was very bad. And then they gave up an offensive rebound on a free throw 15 seconds later. So if you can't make them 2 plays, you're not going to win the game.
Got you. Got you. Well, District 31, it's pretty much been decided. Row boys. Wesco girls. Well, there was really no doubt it wasn't girls.
Now, but for the other T leagues,
sure, exactly. When Row and Memorial, they faced off. It was a rival. Row went on the road,
right.
And Row just put out an effort. 4 of their players were in double digits.
I didn't know about Row until I read it in the paper. Mostly juniors.
Yeah.
Edinburgh North has mostly juniors too, by the way. So those 2 teams are going to be good again. So Rose, what about Memorial's chances to finish second? Is it a done deal?
It almost is a done deal. I know they got a sloppy win, and they almost pulled the upset off against Row.
Yeah. They were down right against PSJ North. They came back, right? 14-4.
Exactly. So they just needed to get it together because we were talking earlier that playoff is going to be a tough match.
No matter who it is.
Exactly. All 4 teams that are pretty much in
both Harlingen, South, and Porter are all quality basketball teams. Row will probably get a by-district win, but it will get a tougher game than it might have imagined.
Sure.
But nonetheless, we thought the same thing in football.
Yeah.
We said this district going to beat this district. It was the other way around. So remember, our opinions are almost useless, and they're also free. Yeah. So let me tell you a little bit more about this North Sherryland thing, because this is becoming a very good rivalry in basketball. Right? You got Rudy Garcia.
Sure.
Who used to be at Sherryland, and now David Keith, who was Bobcats, is at Sherryland. In other words, when you go to those games between North and Sherryland, there's a lot of ties between people. It's interesting. It's been a while since Rudy was there, but he always likes to beat his old team. Yeah. I'll tell you, man, those 2 good basketball teams. As far as the district race goes on the boys' side, I expect North to still contend for the district title. They're a game up in the loss column. They're just going to have to get to playing a little bit more, not together, because they're playing together. They're just not making their shots.
Maybe they might find a trap game.
Well, after this, I don't think so. After this, I think that North is PO'd, and I think they want to come out and prove that they really are the district champs. And I think they might actually probably do that. Sherryland, like I said, got some performances from some guys that were maybe in the second line of the shadows, and that's what happens when you play 12 kids. Every now and then, one of them, the other guy, Corby von Rosenberg, 34. I call him Hoosiers, man, because he's got an old-fashioned 50s game. The dude is so sound fundamentally, man. He'll raise up on a leg and hit that little leaner like Mike Dunleavy.
Nice.
No, he can play, and he had a good second half. They just played better, and it was, on the road they just played better. Someone's knocking. Like we could sing an old rock song.
Yeah, it's all right.
Somebody's knocking. Well, I know. What about 31-5A girls? You say Wesco is obviously the district champ, but we got some other teams that have a chance to win the playoffs.
Yeah, but so you got these teams now. Wesco did run through them all.
Even they beat East bad, and East is pretty good.
Yeah, they were
50-22.
My question is, who's going to step up and get the next play?
And there's and the thing is, it's going to be one of a couple of different teams. PSJ North looks like it's in, I think. Now, they're not a bad little team. East is in. Rowe is probably going to be third, unless something happens. Rowe's a game back of East in the standings. Third place right now will probably get you Harlingen, and that's tough. They played them before. Second place will get you Harlingen South. I mean, it's hard. I mean, they got two great players.
Basketball.
Gabby and Jackie, they're cold-blooded, but a bunch of role players beyond that. We're going to handicap the playoffs next week or so. We kind of talk about it now because it might get going. I don't even know when they start.
We can get next week, and I'm sure.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay, good. Now, and the other one will be Los Fresnos. So don't finish fourth in 31-5 acres. Los Fresnos is like 13-0. They're huge, and they're just a good team. Although, their best player is out for the year with a knee injury. Tejada Ebanks. She got hurt. Beautiful athlete. Tore out a knee. It was horrible. So that ironically might end up giving the fourth place team a chance to move up the bracket. And I'm glad playoffs are coming. It's been a great season so far, man.
It has. And yeah, playoffs are coming. You know, you want to get to Pan Am.
Yeah, you got to get to Pan Am. I love that. Hey, two of the best games I've ever seen in my life were there. We've talked about it, right? Yeah. The McAllen-Westlaco game in area. Remember that one? Yes. Roy Swift and the J.J. Avila, man. That was and Eddie Cantu was going crazy for Westlaco. He had like 32 points. And the other one was the doubleheader between North and Bobcats and the girls, and South and Harlingen. Oh man, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't sleep the night before. I was so excited for those games at Pan Am. That's so great.
Yeah, that was good. You get a great big gym and it fills up.
And
like 80s basketball at Pan Am.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Speaking of Pan Am, you want to segue from basketball into a brief Bronc report because they're over 500, heading for their best record since 07-08. It's a pretty good basketball team.
It is a good basketball team. And it's only going to get better. We talked about it earlier. I mean, they're joining the legit conference.
You're going to get an automatic bid. So if they end up winning the tournament, they'll go to the tournament.
Wednesday, they're officially announcing their soccer teams.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. I like soccer a ton. We've got a bunch of great basketball pictures up on the web this week. Next week, we'll have a lot of soccer pictures.
Sure.
I really like soccer, and we're going to have a good team. We'll just get Porter to come over and put on a Pan Am jersey. We're going to
get Well, maybe who we should get, let's just segue right into it, is this kid I see here. His name's Angel Estrada from San Diego.
I know. What is it? Four goals one game, 5 in another? Like
2 hat tricks.
Oh my God.
I mean, he's got...
They've got a girl scorer, too. Let me find this girl's name.
He's got
amazing.
8 goals so far that I've counted in 4 games. That's really good there.
Yeah. So who is this person? Oh, okay. Check this out. Eva Rubio versus PSJ North 4 goals. PSJ Memorial 5 goals. San Benito's tough, man. Soccer, both girls and boys.
Well,
they're leading the league right now.
Yeah, they are in both teams. And
although Mac Rowe and Memorial and the girls are right there.
Yeah,
I mean, they're good. They're all good teams. They're the best soccer in the world.
Sure, it's going to be a tough race down the stretch. It's almost turning out like the football league.
It's the city teams. You know, the thing is, man, our soccer is different than Brownsville. And I'm not trying to say, they're good or bad, whatever. They're great. We play a more club-style game, like an upstate game, And Brownsville plays more of the Mexican or European soccer. I'll tell you what, it depends on what your style and what you like, right? I can watch both. I really enjoy it. Brownsville will handle more, and they'll pass more, and they'll do stuff. But the McAllen Six, man, they're big, and they'll crack it. And they play really hardcore, like, defensive soccer, man. They're good. They got good coaches over there. I love when McAllen and Brownsville play.
Sure, yeah. Over in your district, I mean...
Strange here.
The action's still good over there.
Oh my God, are you kidding? So Economies beats Sharyland, the state-ranked, Sharyland Rattlers, but then so does Lincoln in that week. So I'm thinking to myself, well, are those teams really that great? And I think they're very good. Or is Sharyland maybe not as good as we thought? I mean, how can you win the state championship, lose all those kids, and still be that great? I bet you by the end of the year they go far in the playoffs. But right now they're 1 and 2 in district. 1 and 2. But you
can still make it in, and they'll still fight tough. You know what I mean?
Oh, and they will, and they'll go far. The thing is, though, Economies is good. You got to watch this guy before the season is over. Marcos Perales, I call him the mongoose. Little guy, number 10. He wears one of those protection hats. He looks like a Russian out there. It's great. He's so quick with the ball. He is so good with the ball. He is so amazing. He's a very good soccer player. Love to watch him. And Lincoln, well, it's Lincoln Economies Friday. Both girls and boys, that's a killer game. You want to see a soccer game all year, go to Economies on Friday and watch a doubleheader. The girls play first, and they're good. They're 3-1. They lost to Sharyland, but then they came back and won. The rest of the city schools right now, the only one that really is looking good besides them two is EHS boys. They're undefeated. Luis Hinojosa scored 3 goals in there. It was a 4. Him and Christoph can score. Sergio Romo is, by my money, the most versatile player in the district. Kind of a big kid. He's fast. He really has a nose for getting the ball out of there, man. I love that. He can play anywhere. He can go up and score for you. EHS is good. Economy is good. The rest, gosh, it's kind of a scramble and dogfight right now.
They'll get it out. I mean, It should make for a good. So you what, 3 right now? The quote unquote guaranteed to get in?
Gosh, and the boys, well, you're looking at Sherilyn and Lincoln and the Columbines and the HS. I think that's pretty clear.
So that's pretty much clear.
The girls is more muddy.
Yeah.
Right now I see, you know, Vela's struggling a little bit. They're new. North is 0-4 for the first time in like 10 years. EHS is like 1-3. They're playing okay. But the city schools on the girls' side are going through a transition right now.
Gotcha.
Gosh, because you got Lincoln, and you got Sherilyn, and you got Columbines, so there's only one spot left. So it's either Palmview, La Jolla, or one of the city schools, and they're going to have to work hard to get there. I feel like all 3 of those teams will be good in the future, especially North, because they've got a bunch of freshmen.
Yeah.
North got, look, they may not score a lot, and they may not win a lot of games right now, but they are laying people out, man. Those chicks are hardcore tough, and I love it. You know, so does Danny Valdez.
Sure.
And he enjoys that physical style without being dirty. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, all the way back to Jackie Cantu. Man, that girl would put you on your rear, I'm telling you. So North has always had tough soccer players, man. Paige was tough too. So they're not there yet, but I think next year they're going to be very good. Yeah. So
North always has tough.
Yeah, they do. And the boys right now, the boys have a lot of speed, but I've seen them once. From what I understand, they're still trying to figure out what the new coach wants them to do. And that guy really knows his stuff. You can tell, man. Elias Moran, that guy is into the games. I mean, he's a soccer guy.
Sure.
All right, he played in Mexico. He knows all about it. So he's tough.
Yeah.
They're going to be good. Like I said, good wheels right now, but they're not putting things together yet. That takes a while to learn.
Sure,
man.
yeah,
they're all new.
Yeah, they've got to get it together.
They will.
So yeah, we've covered the 2 sports going on right now. A couple coming in. Want to touch on something before we round up. The football season is officially over.
It's supposed to be over. Yeah. And yet we're gonna find something to keep it going.
And I'm gonna tell it to you right now. Trevor Spates, Memorial,
the kid,
freshman phenom.
Yeah.
Just received the Davy. You go pick it up on USANS right now. Dave Campbell's high school football magazine.
Comes out in the winter now.
Yeah.
This is the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
They come out every day. We want a daily Dave Campbell.
Okay, 1751 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns. He had 2 great games. One in a win against Rowe with 294 yards. And a playoff loss against Harlingen.
He was ridiculous,
but
man.
still gave them 252 yards.
That was ridiculous. It was so good. Against that team.
Exactly.
The kid is the kid, man.
He got a Davy Freshman of the Year in 5A.
Kid's got a lift, and he's going to be a D1 player.
He is.
He is. He's going to be like 190. If he lifts and fills out like Bradley did.
We've been talking about. Okay, so the kid, he still had that great game against Harlingen. He's going to get it, man. I really do see him giving Bradley a run for his money.
Well, he had more yards as a freshman. My God, a freshman. Than Bradley did.
Yeah.
He's not nearly as compact or as tough yet. He's still a kid. The kid is a kid.
Exactly.
Like I say, when he grow and lift, he's going to be ridiculous. He already is ridiculous, man. 17, 34, 68, 82. He could get 9,000 yards. No, but you know what? Let's not start doing that yet. But I'd love to watch him play so much. He's the best running back we had down here in a long time.
And you get excited because you're going to see that one day. Everything goes according to plan. You're going to come see a major D1 school, and you're going to see a signing at Memorial.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bradley did it. Bradley had some time. You know, Bradley, his career wasn't what I think he wanted it to be. But I think he did well. He graduated early. He got a good job. He's a good guy, man. I love him. He's the best.
I was about to say.
That's the other thing about the kid. Lift and be like Bradley, and you'll be cool. You know, because that guy was a credit to the community in the valley, and we love that guy.
Yeah, he really is. You know,
oh, he's the best.
Like I think it's that saying, that cliche. You know, 4,000 other athletes will go pro in something else.
Right.
Which is true. You know, with the NCAA, they go pro, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he did.
Did his time and.
Bradley was like a Barry Sanders in a way, because he was short-ish and thick, and he had great ankles. I know that sounds weird, right?
No, but
he could change directions fast, and he was super fast, man, and pretty dang tough. I mean, he'd run over you. Bradley didn't mind running over you at all, man. I remember seeing him against PSJ North. He fumbled a couple of times early in the playoffs, and he just got mad. And he ran all over those guys, and that was a good defense that year. Oh, got the black shirts, you know?
Yeah.
God, I wanted it to be football season again. Let's go!
Yeah.
Like Animal House, man.
And it just ended. How about that?
Yeah. But not yet. There's one other thing, right? What was our one?
We got one last thing here in McAllen, right across the street. They hired a coach last week and a half ago.
Yes, they did.
Kevin Brewer. He's a TCU alum.
Riff Ram Bazoo, lickety wazoo. It's been a while. Yeah, I went to TCU. Back in 1912. Me and Sammy Ball were roommates. How do you respond to that? What do you think, man? I think he sounds like a neat guy to me.
He really does. And
big guy, I wouldn't argue him.
Yeah, he's huge. My big thing is give the guy a chance. he's coming from the Metroplex.
Bound to know something.
Football's #1 there.
Yeah, it is.
I think the Metroplex right now is just one step higher than Houston.
Yeah, it is.
And
there's scattered teams from that area,
Yeah.
especially out in the hinterlands, that are better. But consistently, top to bottom, no, Dallas is
Yeah,
where it's at.
that-
And a lot of things. Greed, for instance. Okay.
I think you just give him a chance, man. He knows what he's talking about. I
Yeah.
mean, they've been to the playoffs.
He's got the pedigree, man.
he
He's got the
does.
pedigree. Here's what I think about the whole thing. I know a lot of people are unhappy about Tony Harris. I love that guy myself, and I love him to this day. But this guy as a coach, he's got the credentials. He seems like a neat guy. Do you want to win or not? So go win already. You know, I'll always love Coach Harris, and I feel, you know, if I were to say my personal opinion, I wish it had been different. Blah blah blah. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is life, and this is the guy. And so you're right. If we don't give him a chance, then what are we saying?
Yeah, exactly. I
The
mean,
sour grapes
You're
will-
just gonna keep the same thing. I mean,
Yeah. Pragmatism, people. This is the coach. These are your kids. So make it good.
mediocrity is not acceptable anymore. I mean, you're trying to get to the 4th round.
Right.
You're trying to beat the quote unquote San Antonio
Right.
week, Valley week, whatever week you want to call it.
Anyone can bring you to do that, then hire him.
Exactly.
And the bottom line is, man, I mean, I think it'll probably end up being a great asset to the community, and we'll have fun with them.
Sure.
I certainly plan on having you. You know, I mean, whoever it is, you know, you never want to see a coach lose their job. You never want to see a program go through that discontinuity.
Yeah, sure.
But this is what happens. You move on, and you embrace the situation, or you get out.
And it's the business of football.
Yeah,
It's been going on for decades.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way
Even
around
Charlie
it.
Williams, the
Yeah.
saintly Charlie Williams, felt pressure from coaches. Jesse Longhofer, man, in Harlingen, one of the greatest coaches in the history of the Valley. He had his battles with administration so much so he became AD, so we wouldn't hassle him no more. Then he came back to the coaching sidelines. And
Yeah.
You know, I heard a funny thing, and this is going to be in it. You're going to love this. I'm doing research on the high school basketball book because it's begun. I saw that Manny Gomez, the hitman, the killer, the Apache, was the homecoming king in 1990. Isn't that funny? I want to see the picture of him in like his monkey suit. I'm going to try to get that from Manny. Can you imagine though? What did he do, like take his date out like a captain? That's so great. I love Manny. But he was the homecoming king. So was Harold Hees in 1956. We don't mention.
Bottom line, it's like we were saying earlier, playoffs are on the way, and it's going to heat up and just get exciting.
Sherryland Vela tomorrow is where it's at. Girls basketball. The soccer is getting good. You're looking at Lincoln, Equanimous this Friday. It's going to be a neat thing. It's over on the east side of Edinburgh. We're going to try to find at least one football tidbit from here on until the rest of the universe.
I really do think so because
The kid is great. I'm so happy for that guy.
Yeah, no, it was really exciting.
Way to go, Coach Littleton.
I got the magazine. I was sifting through the pages, and I was just like,
Hey.
wait a minute, I know that guy. There he is.
I'll never forget the first time I saw him against Edinburgh High last season. The first time I saw him touch the ball, he went 53 yards for a touchdown. And I was like, uh-oh. I got the chills. I'm like, what? And he did it again later in the game. Just busted. Nobody touched him, man. It was like, boom, and he was just striding on him, man. He's something.
Yeah.
Going to be another great 3 years, we hope.
Yeah, I really do, and I think we're done with that.
We're gonna make sure that we keep tabs on all the other coaching changes. You know, it happens, and we will be excited to learn how the new people will do, and so the schools can be successful.
Yeah.
Talking sports, signing off. Greg Selber, Pete Pettis. We'll have some probable pairings for you from the playoffs, and that's hard to say. Next week when we come back. Keep the peace. Go to the ball game.
Your Valley Voice.
Yeah. .com.
Yeah.